Kazakhstan and Switzerland are strengthening cooperation in the financial sector. Experts highlighted that the prospective partnership between the financial centers of Zurich, Geneva, Lugano and Astana International Financial Center. Swiss companies are also planning to invest capital, technologies and experience in modern enterprises in Kazakhstan.
Бүгінгі екіжақты қарым-қатынастың күн тәртібінде инвестиция мен economic.
Switzerland and Kazakhstan have developed strong bilateral relations and a constant political dialogue. The Swiss attach great importance to the development of economic and investment cooperation. 25 large Swiss companies took part in a bilateral business forum in Nur Sultan, where a number of important agreements on the opening of several investment projects were signed. One of the agreements would be a project on the launch of a railway wagons manufacturing factory in Kazakhstan.
Бірлесіп бірнеше ірі орта инвестициялық жобаларды іске асырамыз деп ойлаймыз.
A Swiss engineering company which manufactures the entire line of railways and urban public transport is ready to enter the Kazakh market with its skills and advanced technologies.
Последние 1,5 года стали самыми активными.
The past 1.5 years was the most active and productive in the history of Kazakh-Swiss relations. As a representative of the company, I would like to expand our cooperation in the manufacturing of equipment for the railway rolling stock. The Kazakh market is a priority for us. We have extensive experience and we can bring the latest technology into the country. Kazakhstan can also become a great platform for export.
Казахстан может также стать прекрасной площадкой для экспорта.
In addition, Switzerland is interested in the exchange of new technologies. The country is interested in cooperating in education, culture and tourism as well. The memorandum on cooperation between the Kazakh Tourism National Company and the Swiss Tourism can both expand joint projects and contribute to the launch of a new direct flight between the two countries.
We can definitely exchange information, statistics, we can exchange know-how, we can develop new projects, direct flight. This is something that may be happening. We want to have Swiss visiting your country, beautiful mountains, beautiful nature, beautiful desert and different infrastructures, Nur Sultan, the city of Almaty with all these spectacular mountains around, the Mount Chimbulak, the Cherry Canyon, and you name it, the Arba wine estate, absolutely elements that the tourism of Kazakhstan can benefit very much.
Kazakhstan is interested in Switzerland because the latter has great achievements in areas such as agrochemicals, metallurgy, transport, mechanical engineering, and manufacturing of the electric equipment and construction materials. A new environmental code, which was developed taking into account the experience of advanced countries, has been presented to the government. The document contains 7 basic principles. The ministry highlighted that, in particular, industrial enterprises will be exempted from payment for carbon emissions subject to the introduction of green technologies. Otherwise, their payment rates will be increased. The amount of emissions in Europe at one time was reduced by 94% due to the similar principle. The draft code also includes mandatory financing of environmental protection.
Экологиялық кодекстің жобасы экологиялық реттеудегі экономикалық
The new code has been developed taking into account the OECD experience in environmental regulation area. During the development process, the code was widely discussed with the public and the business community in the regions. During the discussions, more than 2,000 suggestions were received from the public. Many of these suggestions have been included in the code. A wind farm was built in Aktobe region. The foothills of Kargali district with a severely continental climate are a perfect place for the construction of the alternative energy facility. The project, which is one of the largest in the region, used investments from Italy in order to produce environmentally clean energy. Construction of the wind farm began at the end of last year. The capacity of the facility is 48 megawatts. The wind farm is expected to generate up to 200 gigawatts of energy annually in order to provide electricity to a population of 20,000 people. The implementation of such large-scale projects shows that the country's economy is developing. The launch of the first wind farm in the region is a great achievement. Kyrgyzstan summarizes the results of its digital transformation project this year. Experts said that the foundation, which was created in 2019, will be the foundation for the development of digital Kyrgyzstan.
Развитие цифровых платежей. Этот проект уже реализуется последние 2 года.
The project on the development of digital payments has been implemented in the last 2 years through the creation of a single payment system, which is called ePay. The system is operating for 2 years now. 16 banks and 3 operators are connected to the system, which allows certain payments to be made using digital or internet technologies. The payment include fines, receipt of services, and any kind of social services.
В пользу бюджета. То есть это оплата штрафов при получении услуг и сервисов.
One of these successfully implemented projects is Safe City. 110 hardware and software systems were installed in Bishkek in the first stage and partially in Chuy region, which resulted in the reduction of accidents by at least twice the previous number. Another achievement is the Tunduk Interdepartmental Electronic Interaction System. 86 government bodies and commercial organizations exchange data between themselves. The number of transactions exceeded the 17 million mark.
В июле месяце у нас было 23 тысячи.
In July, we had 23,000 electronic exchanges with other ministries, departments, and governmental bodies. In November, the number of the exchanges is estimated at more than 860,000. This shows that so many of our citizens do not go to different government agencies, and they do not collect certificates in order to receive any social services from our ministry.
Услуги со стороны нашего министерства.
Meanwhile, Kyrgyzstan has identified the priorities in the field of digital transformation for 2020.
Образование, сельское хозяйство.
We will focus only in areas such as education, agriculture, and healthcare. The second stage is the development of electronic commerce, which is a separate area and is being developed by the private sector in the country. The third stage is the development of a high-tech park, where we want to prioritize the focus on digital transformation in our country. The Ministries of Internal Affairs of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan are cooperating actively. The stability in the region is maintained while the actions of destructive groups are prevented due to the joint activities of law enforcement agencies of the Central Asian countries. The main areas of cooperation include combating cross-border crime and drug trafficking, as well as countering international terrorism and religious extremism. The agreement of the regional cooperation on these challenges was initiated by Kyrgyzstan last year. The panel session of Ministries of Internal Affairs of Central Asian countries was held in Cholpon Ata, Kyrgyzstan in 2018 for the first time in the history of the region. In August this year, the second coordination meeting of the ministries was held in the southern metropolitan city of Kazakhstan. The meeting resulted in a concise plan for the future meetings. The joint cooperation brings meaningful results for the countries.
Данных мероприятий нами постоянно проводится именно по экстремизму, проводится обмен.
As part of the meetings, we are constantly exchanging information on people who crosses the borders of the countries that participate in the agreement. We also share records of organizations that were recognized as extremists and terrorists in the participating countries.
Организации, которые были признаны экстремистскими и террористическими на территории сторон.
Effective integration of science and business is the basis of innovative economic development. Authorities in Kazakhstan understood the principle very well. Therefore, new projects in the country are always supported. More than 450 local developers are successfully running businesses based on scientific inventions. All of the business received special grants from the Science Fund. According to the spokesperson of the fund, over 5 billion tenge are allocated annually for the commercialization of the local science developments.
У нас в реализации очень много проектов в области разработки.
We are implementing a lot of projects in the fields of technology development, production of new food products, agriculture, biotechnology, metallurgy, and information technology. More than 1,200 different specialists have been involved in the work, and more than a half of them are science representatives who are on contractual terms with businessmen and receive their recurring royalties from the implementation of their scientific developments.
Получают свои авторские вознаграждения от внедрения своих научных разработок.
Meanwhile, more than 150 science-based projects were supported by the state in 3 years, while 8 are successfully completed in Kazakhstan. Innovative developments are being implemented not only within the country, but the products and services are also exported to foreign markets.
Прежде всего, у нас экспортоориентированность идет на...
First of all, we are exporting to neighboring countries such as Russia, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan. But we should not forget that we have a potential market in China for our products.
Рынок сбыта для нашей продукции – это Китай.
The Science Fund has been the operator of grant funding for scientific and technical projects in Kazakhstan since 2016. Its main goal is to develop and promote the commercialization of the latest local technological innovations, as well as popularize the scientific developments. Scientists from Oskemen plan to patent medical implants made of complex alloy of titanium, niobium and tantalum. The prototypes are 100% biocompatible with the human body. The prostheses are undergoing clinical trials. Characteristics of the implants parts of the hip and elbow joints have been studied in detail by orthopedists.
Благодаря этим имплантам, которые разрабатываются,
I think that the price of these implants will be reduced. Meanwhile, the number of surgeries involving the implants will be increased. The implants are developed by staff of the Research Institute and Oskemen Metallurgical Enterprises.
цена на эти импланты, и, во-вторых, увеличится количество делаемых операций.
The goal of the local inventors is to ensure the affordability of the prosthetics procedure. The cost of implants in Kazakhstan will be reduced due to the usage of local materials. The availability of local production allows the locals to purchase the prostheses for 70% less than foreign-made ones. The project has been completed. The next step is commercialization, as we plan to enter the mass market soon. The medical implants will be made taking into account the individual characteristics of each patient in the future. There are technical capabilities for the very delicate procedure. More than 1 billion tenge of state subsidies has been invested in the re-equipment of the testing laboratories in local universities. Investment in science has yielded positive results. The costumes of Kazakh mythological characters were presented in Mangistau region. Fashion designer Tarbiya Aydimbayeva dedicated the fashion show to the works of mythologist Serikbol Kondibai. The designer took 1.5 years to make the collection, consisting of 12 Kazakh-style costumes. Spectators were impressed with the images of antagonists and protagonists such as Suwin Aygir, Jestirnak, as well as Kunike and Tunike. According to the fashion designer, the showcase of the characters would make it easier for tourists to learn about the work of the mythologists and the history of Kazakh people.
Serikbol Kondibai мұражайында өзінің орны деп есептеп қазір
I displayed my collection at the museum named after Serikbol Kondibai because I think it is the best place for it. Now people who are interested can come and see it. I invite all of you. The mythologist has many works, most of which we are trying to publish. He left many creative and interesting works to the Kazakh people.
қолымыздан келгенше оқып шығара алатын дүниелерімізді шығарып жатырмыз.
The month of Kazakhstan's culture in Norway ended with the screening of local films. Kazakhanade, The Diamond Sword, Balwan Sholak, and Amre were shown in Oslo and Stavanger in the Kingdom of Norway. The viewers in Norway praised the scale of the production works, the professionalism of local actors and stuntmen, as well as the detailed work of designers and set decorators. The event was organized by the Embassy of Kazakhstan in Norway.
Really,
it's something
quite
like
a life story of the making of a nation.
Yeah.
And its presentation is fantastic. Congratulations.
It is a very nice movie. It tells the history about Kazakhstan and how they survived their battle through their survival of nation country.